Hey, Dex here, coming to you with a review on Tanky Tanks. And if you're looking for a difficult arcade game, then I think you've definitely come to the right place. Tanky Tanks is an arcade-style vehicle combat game released on the Xbox on this 14th of November 2019. Costing you the small price of £4.99, the game is made up of 50 levels, playable in 6 different styles. The game doesn't have a story mode at all, it just puts you straight into the menu and allows you to select your mode. Personally, I went in straight into the normal mode. Normal mode, as you can guess, is the normal mode, with no modifiers. The objective of each level is to destroy the other tanks on the maps, and once completed you'll advance to the next stage. The controls of the game are quite simple. You move around the map with your left analog stick, and you control your cannon with your right analog stick. Your cannon fires with a simple A press, and you can drop the bomb with a B press. And that's all the buttons that you need to know to play the game. Like I said, really simple. Now on normal mode you get unlimited cannon shots. You are limited to 5 shots at a time, but it does take a short while to reload those shots. You do only get 3 bombs in total though. But personally I didn't find the bombs very useful in the game at all anyway, due to the short range. It meant if I wanted to use them, it gave the enemy tanks a massive advantage on me, giving them a close range shot to take me out. So I always felt that I could never use them to my advantage. The one other issue I had with the game was some of the shots the enemies took at me. When they fired the cannon, if they missed you or you dodged it, the bullet would ricochet off a wall, and backwards and forwards and take a few times before disappearing. That part was fine and I had no issue with it. But some of the angles of ricochets sometimes happened, and I've got to stress it was sometimes, it wasn't always, but sometimes they would ricochet at very unrealistic angles and end up bouncing vertically rather than at the angle it entered and bounced back. So say if it went in at a 45 degree, you'd expect it to go out 45 degrees the other. Instead it would come in at 45 degrees and shoot 90 degrees upwards. Now because this only happened sometimes, it made it very difficult to read and did result in some cheap deaths. And actually, whilst we're on the subject, talking about deaths, the game actually handles lives in a very old-fashioned way. In a way that I'm not actually sure whether I like it or not. When you start the game, you get 5 lives, and these 5 lives have to last you the full 50 levels. You've got no way to restore lives, and once you're at 0, that's it, game over. With no way to restore your progress at where you left off, no way to choose a level, you literally have to start again from level 1. Which in one sense, people might love that fact. The idea the game goes from an easy 1 to 2 hour completion to turn it into an actual challenge. But for the completionists out there, this game might have become a new rage fest if they're going for that 1000G. Like I said, in my opinion, I'm not actually sure which side of the fence I want to sit on. I think I probably would have preferred it if there was a way to increase your lives whilst playing the levels. Maybe by completing the level in under a certain time, give you a way to restore life. I'm not sure, but I can see why they made the decision they've made, and I can probably applaud them for actually doing it and taking a risk in presenting the game out that way. Back to the main gameplay though, and the good thing about this game is that all the different modes are unlocked from the very start. You don't actually need to complete any prerequisites. All the other 5 modes that I haven't mentioned so far follow the same level structure, but all have different gimmicks in them. You have the bomb mode, which only allows you to use bombs on each level without being able to take any shots at all. You have invisible mode, which turns all the enemies invisible. And actually, quite frankly, that mode seems way harder than hard mode. It actually seems the most hardest mode on the game. Especially in some of the later levels, it can become almost impossible. Then you have speed mode, that puts the game at 2 times speed. Bullets and movements, and even targeting your cannon, all move at twice the speed. But that's the only gimmick in there, everything else is exactly the same. Then you have camera mode, which again is exactly the same as normal mode, except from the camera is in a different angle. And then finally you have hard mode, which is again exactly the same as normal mode, except it takes twice as many shots to take an enemy out, and rather than having 5 shots before your cannon reloads, you now only get 3. The achievements in this game are actually quite simple and don't require you to do anything out of the ordinary, but you can still split the achievements into 2 categories. The first 400G is quite easy to get, and the game rewards you with 100G for every 10 levels you complete. Then the other 600G is awarded for beating each of the different categories. But just for context, as of recording this, which we are about a week into the game's release, there's both the speed and bomb modes don't actually have a single completion yet. And I don't think that's due to a glitch. So you are going to be working on this game for quite a while if you do want to get that 1000G. Overall, I would recommend this game to anyone looking for a fun pastime, challenging little game. It's not one you're going to be playing days on end if we're honest, but for the small price of $4.99, I definitely think it's value for your money. And it's going to give you a few hours of entertainment. But a word of warning, if you're going for this purely for achievements perspective, you're going to be able to pick up that few 100G quite easily. But if you're going to go for the completion, it's going to be a long rage-inducing night for you. Anyway, thanks for listening. I've been Dex. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new to unlock the Dex Legend achievement. And let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on the game. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!